Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series in which I talk about politics and how much I am above it all. So, I live in North Carolina, I've said this before, and a new poll came out in North Carolina that showed Bernard Sanders in first place, and I'm here to talk about it. Just because that's cool. So, High Point, North Carolina. There you go. That's where it's from. It's Believe a University. I've got the memo open right here. Out of likely voters, Joe Biden is at 24 to 20 for Sanders. And this is something that I've been saying for a while, is that Bernard brings people into the fold that aren't necessarily under the pretense of being likely voters. You know what I mean? And so far in Iowa and New Hampshire, I do think that Bernie has been underperforming, which is not a good sign. Either way, that being said, with registered voters, he is 6 points ahead on Biden, and this was January 31st to February 6th, this poll was conducted, so this was like over the point of time where Iowa was happening, and there's a lot of big debacles. But New Hampshire happened yesterday, of course. And so we don't really know exactly how that's going to affect the situation, where Joe Biden's electability is clearly just completely crumbling under most accounts. But yeah, so the main thing here that really I think is the main takeaway is that people need to actually get out and vote. There's a lot of people that, they'll talk on the phone. It's like, yeah, I like Bernard, I'm registered to vote, but we need to get these people out to vote. And as we learned in Iowa and New Hampshire, not everyone's actually getting out to vote. And maybe Nevada and South Carolina will give us some different data to work on. But either way, North Carolina, this is looking good. North Carolina is the third biggest state on Super Tuesday to vote. California has over 400 delegates at stake, which is the biggest state, which Bernard is leading in. Texas, the last poll I saw from Texas, Bernard was essentially tied in Texas, and that's the second largest state, which I believe has 200 something delegates, and I think North Carolina has 100 something delegates, which is the third largest state. So again, if Bernie wins California, that already is a pretty monumental victory. If he won the biggest three states on these Super Tuesday elections, that would be huge. That would be really, really impossible, almost, I would say, to deal with. Interestingly enough, Andrew Yang is at 3 and 4 points, and now that he's dropped out, I wonder where those points will go. From a lot of the polling that I've seen, Andrew Yang supporters seem to be like 50% libertarian Republicans who hate minorities and stuff. I've dealt with a lot of those people, and then 50% are people that pretend to be progressive, or at the very least, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they just think they are progressive and they're just misled. And I think those people probably will break for Sanders. From what I've seen on Twitter, I do see a lot of Yang people breaking for Sanders. But I also see a lot of people that are like, oh, I'll vote for Trump. It's really hard to really get a good grasp on that demographic. But I mean, electorally, they're not that significant. But they're just really annoying online, so I'm going to stop talking about them. Now, another thing is, of course, Mike Bloomberg. Mike Bloomberg seems to be eating away at Biden's support. And another thing is Elizabeth Warren. She's done. She's toast. More toast, I would say, than Joe Biden, because at least Joe Biden has the infrastructure and pretending and he's the former vice president, the name recognition. Elizabeth Warren, if she drops out before Super Tuesday, which is totally possible, I don't know where her supporters are going to go, and that does worry me. But I'm definitely going to be keeping track of North Carolina stuff. If anyone knows any other polls from North Carolina, let me know. And this is really good news. Again, I've been doing some canvassing work. I've been trying to get everyone involved that I can, and it is important that if you live in a Super Tuesday state, that you do the same. Super important. Could not be more important. Think about it, 3 years from now, If only I would have voted, I could have had health care right now. Like, that might be you if you don't vote. So get out and vote. This is good stuff. Thank you for watching, and if you have anything you want to say, questions or concerns, let me know. That's my goodbye. That's how I say goodbye.